just acting a little wank, little hinky. Little hinky. That joint jacked up. But okay, we look okay. Looks like it's working. I got to add one more thing here for the show. In this bag, because I got all this prep stuff going on, man. Tonight's going to be an important night. That's what they saw. They said, oh, Tim's Black's got an important night going on. We got to get him. We got to stop him. Speaking of that truth to power. Who do you think this is? Add one more thing up here in Add one more thing up in this joint here. See what happens. Add one more file over here. Act stupid. Act stupid on your own time, bucko. All right. So I want to welcome my moderators. I got the best moderators in the business. The one and only Buck Bewley, Black Mamba, and Ebony are in the house. Give it up for them. Yeah, man. Ain't nothing but love. Ain't nothing but love, man. My people, my people, my people. The Tim Black Wolfpack, they have patience. Or they wouldn't be supporters of this show, because you gotta have patience to support this show. Yeah, this one of them shows, you gotta give a brother some grace. You know what, guys? I notice people like using that term a lot. Yeah, give them some grace. Give him some grace. That mofo just ran over my foot. I'll give him grace. That mofo just said something bad about my mama. Give him grace. That mofo owe me $100. Give him grace. People they throwing that around like everybody deserves grace. I'm here to tell you, not everybody deserves grace, Johnson. Now, sometimes when you're watching the clip and somebody's getting their ass kicked, they earned that. Yeah, sometimes they earned it. Yeah, I know it's not popular to say because libs, but yeah, it's true. Some people earn the ass whooping. I know a few people who have earned it, just haven't delivered on it, because what I look like? Being I'm supposed to be older, OG. I'm supposed to be wise. Here I am whipping ass, just outside just whipping ass. Let's keep it real, man. We get older, sometimes we forget we got older. You don't want to be fighting Tim Black. Might not win them all. Might not win, Tim. And if you do win, you might get shot, because that's how the young guys play. If I get a lucky one in and hit him with this hard old man strength, they'll just shoot you. Check this out, guys. We got a lot going on tonight, man. I welcome everybody here. My Tim Black Wolfpack are in the building, I hope. Yeah, it looks like we got our people here. Let my people go. What's up, Harry C. and Anna Jackson and JJ and Elizabeth and Black Rose up in this mofos. Ron, Rude Boy Sable winners, get out of here. Sable did it. Sable caused this, man. She ain't been here. That's why I did it. It was like Sable Winners is back. Then my internet broke. The talented Sable Winners. Give it up for her, y'all. Yeah, the very talented Sable Winners. Can y'all bear with me about 10 seconds? I gotta see a man about a horse. Yeah, how much time we got? If I gotta take a break, Mrs. Black always like, she happens to like this commercial. Hang tight, guys. We got a break for station identification.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on Black issues, and when they do, it's all fluff. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining, on point. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Visit www.timblacktv.com today. Get Black breaking news, politics, culture from someone you can trust. TimBlackTV.com. Join us today.
Yeah, we back. We back in the house. Thank you, Johnsons. Appreciate you. I was given roll call, but I guess with all the content I got and the internet stability being in question, I think I better get to the content before something bad happens. Before they cut us off. I don't want them to cut us off, man. You know how they do. These people, man, they cannot be trusted. They cannot be trusted with our democracy. Luckily, we don't have one. Don't you hate when people say, oh, man, we're losing our democracy? As if we ever had one. What are you talking about? You just get here? You knew, huh? All right, guys, let's get it cracking. Hit the like button for the algorithm. Wow, we putting up big numbers. Go with our 200,000 subscriber mark. Anybody who doesn't know, we hit over 200 subscribers. I'm sorry, 200,000 subscribers. Say it with your chest, John. Yeah. Yeah, we got to celebrate.
Simply amazing.
Now, that's what I'm talking about, eh? I can rock with that.
Yeah, I could rock with it too, fam. I'm rocking with that. If you're on X, share this on X. X, man, I don't know what's happening with X, man. I can't get no love on X. Facebook, when Facebook's doing you better than X. What you gonna do, bro? Hey, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? X just keeps showing me the same conservative black people. It's like, dude, it's like they're in cahoots with certain people, it seems. I don't even follow this guy. Why you keep showing me his content? You're like this in the content, just ain't saying anything, just nothing. No personality, nothing, just, I got money. I got money, my daddy gave me money. I got money. Horrible, man. Horrible. All right, guys, let's get going, man. It is what it is. Don't hate Tim Black. Don't hate the players, hate the game. There you go. Fine. All right. Duly noted. I get it. Hate the game. Okay. Are we good on the volume at least? Volume's okay. Okay. Let's get going, guys. It's a Tim Black show. Topics tonight. What about Zohran, gifts from Epstein, and got papers? Yeah, we're getting diverse. Yeah, it looks like the CEOs of major companies have backed out of diversity, equity, and inclusion. But I got a DEI show. I just got a range of topics. That's all that means. I just shows different shit. I got a lot of clips. I'd like to get to most of them, if not all of them. Tip your bartenders. Relax. Can I promote? Did I promote anything? You guys know to become members of the Tim Black Wolfpack, yo. I noticed a surge, and all these people signed up to join my Patreon. It's amazing. They all said, damn, let me support this brother. Let me support the Tim Black show. I watch it. Let me support it. And it just came in, and hundreds of people joined yesterday. Now, I'm bullshitting. It didn't happen. They said, oh, great, you got 200,000. Don't need me to join now. But if you're not one of those people, if you don't want to be one of those people, go to jointimblack.com or find me at Tim's Take Live on Patreon. It's the same thing. Become a member today at only $5 a month. I know it's a bank breaker, but if you can find it within your budget to support the show that you already watch, that'd be cool. Make it as if me choosing a rock for the blacks made sense. You know, make it as if that I could still survive without having progressives who could just, support stuff I do. Make it seem like I don't need the liberals. That'd be a beautiful thing. Prove me right that this can be done. Without talking about the ebony asses every time I tell about, without talking about every rap beef. Because it only seems to work for rap. Hip-hop on dating. You gotta go back to relationship dating conversations. That how black women hate black women hate black men, and black men hate black women. Make it prove me wrong. Make it say you don't have to be like Mark Lamont Hill to make it in politics on the internet. And you ain't got to be Candace Owens. Had to sell her soul for 4 years to the conservative whites in order to build a brand and then go on their own and then shit on Trump because she didn't get a cabinet slot. Come on now. Tell me I don't have to be like the Hodge twins. Go to jointimberlake.com in order to support this independent media that you already watch. And with that, salud. Now, if you're new to the show, my name is Tim Black. I'm what you call a Democratic Party hater. I want to get that out the way right now. I want you under any delusions. This will be anti-democratic content. It will not be pro-Republican content because I don't want you to become a Republican. I want you to become an independent thinker and voter and do what's in the best interest of you and your family. That's all I want. Well, I want a little bit more than that. But that's for another show. We clear? Hey, when people act like I hornswoggled them. Like I pulled one over on them, like I pulled a fast one on them. Hey, when they act like that, like, I didn't know that you were going to be this mean to the... No. Telling you right now. Why don't you like Jasmine Crockett? Same way I don't like when people step on the back of my shoe when I'm walking. I got a problem. Got a problem with people that talk this bullshit. People that aren't in my best interest. You know what I'm saying? You would never ask a man why he doesn't like gout. You get it. All right, let's go. All right, Tim Black. Run the show.
Please do not let that story go.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI.
But who? That is I mean, there's...
that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
This isn't about Epstein or 9/11 or JFK or RFK. It is, but it isn't. It's about a bigger thing. If you're lying about that, you're lying about everything. Who's on the Epstein tapes, folks? Who's on those tapes? Who's in those black books? Why have they been hiding it?
And this is something Donald Trump has talked about. The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. Everything's going to come out to the public. The public has a right to know. Americans have a right to know.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. A smart person once said, the dog you bring home is the dog you have to feed. So be careful of the dogs you bring home. Kind of hard to run away from this one now, Republicans. MAGA got a little bit of problem. I don't see it as a problem. I see it as a plus. Yeah, because As I stated at the top of the show, my goal was never to get you to become a Republican. It wasn't to get you to worship Trump. It's just that if we got 99 of black commentators all jumping on Trump and forgetting that he only been in politics for 8 years, and the problems that face us have been going on for at least 60, it kind of looks kind of stupid, in my opinion. Kind of seems like you're a sellout if you're going after the orange guy. I mean, he's only really been in office for 5 years, 4.5 years. I mean, that's just how I see it. So anyway, but that does not mean they're beyond scrutiny, and that does not mean I'm not enjoying this, man, because I am. See, it's important that people understand that neither party is good. And it's important for people to understand that everybody lies to you. Politics is full of lies. I learned the hard way. People I support, this kind of this that I supported that I learned the hard way about. There's initiatives I supported. There's policies I thought were good. Politics is dirty. And if you learn nothing else, MAGA, you need to learn that that includes you. Yeah, you don't get a pass. Yeah, there were people that believed in these various people. And then they learned, oh, they operate within a system. Yeah, we've been telling you the system sucks. We also been telling you that both parties suck. I've been telling you both parties suck. I've been saying that for 10 years. I guess it's not that original because some people have taken it. We just think alike, maybe. The point is, I'm not upset about what happened here. I think it's good for people to get their feelings hurt. They need to understand what we're up against. And if they're walking around delusional thinking Trump is a Swiss Army knife of problem solving, they just got their wake-up call. And I'm cool with that. Wake your ass up. Now, if I could only get black people to keep voting Democrat 90 to 95% of the time, every time, rain or shine, for them to learn, then we really be cooking with grease. Yeah, I'm on that. What's funny, right, though, is that we got Democrats who are doing most of the promoting of weren't the Epstein files released. You know what I'm saying? It's just hilarious. It really is. I don't know. Did Benjoni, Bonadino, whatever his name is, did he quit yet? Did Patel, did Cash quit? Did Bondi quit? Did Trump fire them? What really happened? Yeah. Looks like they need to, I don't know. They need to stick to their guns about what they said was important to them when they came in. When they were talking, when they were outside. Yeah, when you don't have a job, you got a lot of talk. And then when you get the job, it's like, everybody starts sounding like Charlie Brown's teachers. Yep. And yeah, it's not a good look. But it is inevitable, and you have to get your feelings hurt. You must be crushed like I have been crushed. You must be destroyed to be rebuilt and to be reformed into real, to deal with reality. And I'm sorry, man, some people just haven't been dealing with reality. You're going to learn today. Speaking of learning today, let's keep the party going.
Discourse about Jeffrey Epstein. Is this appropriate for your members to be doing so? Do you want to see any action on that front?
The American people deserve to know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as it relates to this whole sordid Jeffrey Epstein matter. Democrats didn't put the Jeffrey Epstein thing into the public domain. This was a conspiracy that Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, and these MAGA extremists have been fanning the flames of for the last several years. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. The American people deserve to know the truth. What, if anything, is the Trump administration and the Department of Justice hiding? What are you hiding? If you're not hiding anything, prove that to the American people. And if you are trying to hide something, as many of Donald Trump's MAGA supporters apparently believe, then the Congress should actually work hard to try to uncover the truth for the American people. There are only two things that are possible here. Option one, Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, and the MAGA extremists intentionally lied to the American people for years about the Jeffrey Epstein situation. That's option one. Option two is that, in fact, there's reason for the American people to be concerned as it relates to what information has not been released that could be damaging to the Trump administration and the friends and family of the Trump administration and their billionaire corrupt supporters. And so they're actively engaging in a cover-up. Option one, they lied for years. Option two, they're engaging in a cover-up. At this point, it seems reasonable that can only be one of the two things. And so it's Congress's responsibility in a bipartisan way to ask the questions and try to get answers on behalf of the American people.
Can I follow up? Two of your...
Yeah, that's interesting that he would say that, man. That was interesting. Look, there's actually three options here, Hakeem Jeffries. One of them could be, why do you talk like a man who's stuck on stutter? Why does you talk like you are lagging when you talk? It appears you can only go for 4 words at a time before you have to stop. That's bad, man. Makes me wonder, never ever stop and pause whenever I'm speaking, because if it's that jarring and off-putting, damn, like, never do that again. Be fluid. But let's get to the crux of the matter here, my brother. Jeffrey, it seems like you know that this won't be released. Yeah, it seems like you know it won't be released. And I got a feeling if it won't be released, and you know why, I believe, just like many other people believe, who are not Democrat or Republican, just got a brain up there, then maybe there's some people in this that will be revealed who have power. And then nobody want to snitch on the people with power because them people got power, hence the power part. You know, people like Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying? So those are concerns, and, you know, maybe Bill Clinton. You know, there are a number of people that may be indicted in this and might be smeared in this and be implicated by the files. That's what I'm thinking. But of course, I don't work for the government. I don't work for either party. And I'm just a person looking at it with clear eyes and no damn reason to lie. Unlike yourself. Jeffries supports, if the Epstein files hurt Trump, why hasn't the left used them? That's the most obvious thing. See, everyone knows damn well that the Epstein files have been around for a while. They didn't just materialize when Trump got in office a second time. The entire time that the Democrats had the files, it was in their DOJ. They had the files. I didn't hear I didn't hear Jeffries. I didn't hear AOC. I didn't hear any of these people that are talking now say a mumbling word about Biden releasing the files. Nothing. Of course, you're right. Trump people been talking about it. They should have to pony up and release the files. And if you ain't gonna release them, you better come up with a better explanation than ain't no files. What files? Rockford files? The X files? Finger files? Single files? Now, they need to come up with a better explanation. But come on, man, no one's that stuck on stupid not to realize the Democrats had no intention of releasing that thing. or they would have released it. So how can you dog out the Republicans or Trump or his administration for not doing something you wouldn't do? And you are a person of power. It's almost like you have no self-awareness that you sitting here, you didn't help do anything. You got a bully pulpit. You are speaker guy. Why weren't you talking, speaker guy? You could have came out at any time and been like, yo, we need to release this. But see, you fell in line with your party, just like those who are working for Trump, just like Pam Bondi and Kash Patel are falling in line with their party, their president. And that's why both parties suck. Not one time did Hakeem Jeffries call for Biden and his administration when they had the ball to run the same play he's saying Trump should run. And I think when he's coming out here and talking, it only further signals to me that there's a reason why they're not going to release those files. There's got to be a reason. And I think everyone knows there's a reason. Because wouldn't it suck after talking all this smack, you wake up tomorrow and the files are released? I don't think Hakeem Jeffries is a risk taker. I think he's scared of his own voice. You know he's scared of risk. He doesn't even know what he's going to say, so he's always so choppy, making sure he says the right thing, because God forbid he drop an R, consonant or something. So a guy that's afraid to talk, you know he's not going to get up here and stand on business. I don't think it's possible. I don't think that's part of his DNA, frankly. And that's what makes him such a long-standing Democrat, because that's what they do. They avoid risk. Avoid risk. That's how I see it, man. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's clear that what we have here is a failure to communicate. But like I stated, I think it's important that all people get in their heads that we have a problem with both parties. It's not a one-party issue. It's a multi-party. It's a bi-party issue. And you ain't going to solve it by jumping in either one of these parties. You solve it by being independent, able to call out both sides of this thing, and work towards your own best interest. That's what they don't want us to do. And by the way, the biggest party is no party. And who won the 2024 election? The couch. All right. Let's keep going, fam. Where are we at here?
Members have
and so
legislation to either force or
next on deck with Tim Black.
And so the thing I keep coming back to on a whole lot of things that the president does, I'm asking the question, why are we not talking about his mental acuity in the way we would if President Biden had been saying and doing a lot of these erratic things?
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah, I've always wondered how this guy has been able to keep his job. Yeah, man, I never figured out what was about Capehart that people liked. Capehart, who is it that you have files on? I believe you got files on somebody, Capehart. Who touched you? Who did you, Tyler Perry? Who did you, Shannon Sharp? I mean, come on, man. How do you have multiple jobs and not be good at any of them? I'm just saying, fam. And this analysis, if you wanted proof that we got two different, vastly different points of view here, man, when it comes to reality, when it comes to politics, this is a clear example. There was no world that exists that has any knowledge or logic based in it that wouldn't come for this guy with razor blades and lemon juice for saying that. I don't care what side of the aisle you on. Fam, this guy just sat here with a straight face and said, why aren't people calling out Trump's cognitive abilities? He just sat back for 4 years and watched Biden go, one potato. Blue potato. Armor time, orange juice, orange. We finally beat Medicare. He saw a man do that. Has a platform, writes, works at PBS, works at MSNBC, works in media, and he said nothing. Nothing like, hey, what's wrong with Joe? Nothing. Now the guy comes out, and I'm not saying Trump doesn't have moments. Senior moments are what seniors have. That's why they call them senior moments. But here's the thing, though, man. If you sat back for 4 years when your guy was in there, and everyone saw Joe decline. Joe was declining when he went in. I've been talking about Joe's decline since 2015. How could you not see Joe had problems? But for a guy to see Joe had problems, not say a word, didn't come out here, had the audacity, Johnson, to not call a thing, it's like he just saw a humongous tarantula run across the desk and he's just like, but anyway, I bet you Trump has spiders in his house. Yeah, we just saw one run across your desk, K-Part. You don't see that spider? No, I didn't. Then the spider runs up his arm, sits on his shoulder. What? What? What's wrong? I saw nothing. Well, can we continue the conversation about Trump's spider in his house? That's the level of hypocrisy that we're dealing with when we're dealing with the Democratic Party, man. And all I'm saying is, at some point, if you're a Democrat, you got to wake up to it and call it what it is. And the fact that other Democrats, I mean, that's why I hate being on teams. Because if you're part of this team, and you can't say, man, look at this shit. What good are you? You know, how could you want to be on a team? You got to be grouped in with people like this. And I know he's getting help. Like, these people don't just do their own show and do their own thing. They got staff, they got groups, they got teams. Then they have directives and talking points, and they all get the memos. And, you know, no one operates. None of these people in corporate media do exactly what they want to do. They're not autonomous. They're employees. You know what I'm saying? They're not even franchise owners. So when I'm talking about K-Part, I'm talking about everybody behind the scenes. I'm talking about everybody that runs the machine. They sent this guy out here with these talking points. It is what it is, man. I still want to know how he keeps a job. What does he do? How did he pull that off? Very slowly. Let's keep going, Johnson. Let's keep going. You can't make this shit up, Johnson. Next.
And we're not. And I think we need to start having that conversation.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
and said that he signed off on every decision. But at the same time, the Times reports that he did not individually approve each name for the categorical pardons that applied to large numbers of people. What are your take on that? Any new revelations from that?
Well, I mean, you're talking about the Autopen. Look, the Autopen, I think, is maybe one of the biggest scandals that we've had in 50 to 100 years. This is a tremendous scandal. And I know the people on the other side of the, see that desk, that Resolute desk? Unfortunately, he used it before me. But, you know, we have our choice of 7 desks. They're all beautiful. But I chose the Resolute, and so did he, unfortunately. But the people on the other side of the Resolute desk, I know them. Lisa, the whole group, and they're no good. They're sick people. And I guarantee you he knew nothing about what he was signing. I guarantee it. So they're going to figure it out, and we'll see what happens. But to me, the Autopen, you know, you elected president. You know what the Autopen is supposed to do? Sign thousands of letters from young people that write. We get thousands of letters a week, Susie, right? Thousands. I mean, tens of thousands sometimes. I look at a room, there's a room where we have many, many people working, responding and sending letters back. That's what an Autopen's supposed to be. To write to a young 7-year-old boy that writes to the president and he wants to be president someday and he loves America. That's what the Autopen's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be for signing major legislation and all the things. No, the Autopen, and I doubt he knew. I doubt they even spoke to him about it. I think they had, it's called a freewheeling Autopen. Like, Biden was never for open borders. Biden was never for transgender for everyone. So I don't think I think the radical left people that took over the White House, and if I didn't win, our country was finished.
Next on
Wow. Yeah, at first when you start hearing him talk, it's like, what's he talking about? Where's he going with this? Then he goes somewhere. You're like, hold on a second. That made sense. I never felt that way when Biden spoke. Yeah, I didn't think about the real purpose of an Autopen. The purpose of an Autopen is to sign those letters that people send that couldn't possibly be signed. You know what I'm saying? By the actual president, who's got time for that? So that makes sense. And he makes another, I'm sorry, man, it's a valid ass point. I mean, if you're a Democrat or progressive or whatever, even if you're independent who says Trump's always lying, he ain't lying about that. I mean, I've often wondered, man, how'd the guy go from overseeing, sitting there with Obama, being the deporter in chief, deporting? I mean, if we got deportations and we got what's that other term? Return to sender. We got deportations and return to senders or something. It's 2 different classifications. Obama put out like 3 million people more. If you add both those groups together, Obama removed like over 300 removals, something like that. 3 million people more than Trump. How do you be Joe Biden and sit there be a VP of an administration that does that, and then come back in the very next, when you get in, and you be the total opposite? Like, it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's either you're the most corrupt bastard that's ever existed, or you had a lot of people pulling the strings behind the scenes. I mean, why would you be so opposite, the polar opposite? How could you go from rounding up record numbers of people, putting them in cages? Yeah, that was Obama's team. Biden was a part of that. You can't say Kamala was a part of Biden's shit and not admit Biden was a part of Obama's. See how people want to do things? But who does that? Who does that? A complete 180. That's what he did here, man. So, yeah, I tend to believe, like, you know, I was comfortable just saying that Joe Biden is obviously a corrupt bastard who has no soul, no ethics, no real point of view, sort of like Hillary Clinton. Maybe he does have a point of view. Maybe he did have a vantage point maybe did believe in some things at some point. I don't know. Maybe, blocking up the blacks seemed to be up there on the list with his mass incarceration legislation that it seems like nobody really wanted to talk much about. But here's the thing, though. Maybe, just maybe, the guy wasn't making any calls at all under his presidency. Maybe that's why the border stayed open for 3.5 years. And maybe he can't say anything because he doesn't even remember what happened. Like he's, I've seen people with dementia on TikTok. It's a progressive condition that only gets worse over time. And I'm not saying he has that. He got something. And if you're Joe Biden and you don't want to expose all of your frailties, maybe he doesn't want to admit, hey, man, they did that to me. And maybe they got something on Joe Biden. I mean, Tara Reid, I don't know. He could have some stuff on him. He's been in politics for 100 years. Maybe he didn't want things to come out. Maybe they played hardball with his ass. Maybe the hardball that Biden should have been playing on Manchin and Sinema was being played on him. And you never really know in politics, man, because it's all dirty and skeezy, scumbags, and getting people on tape and, putting a file and setting them up and recording it. And being from D.C., man, being here, knowing what they did to Mayor Marion Barry, and that was just the mayor of a city. They put this guy in a hotel room and had it bugged with cameras. And then no one act like there were cameras there. They're not usually cameras in hotel rooms to catch people doing drugs. There was cameras in a hotel. You think that's an accident? And if they did that to him back in the 90s, what do you think they would do to Biden? Body, him and his son. Anybody. So we start going down the rabbit hole, man. It's like you stumble into all these ditches. And those ditches, those holes don't have gold in them. I'm thinking there's a lot of bodies buried, is all I'm trying to tell you. It's sort of like they said, there's a line from, I think it's Casino, or Goodfellas. Yeah, so you got to go out, you got to dig a hole. You go dig a hole. You got to dig the hole early, pre-dig the hole. You don't dig the hole, you go out there, you got a body, you got a package to drop off. If you don't dig the hole, before you know it, someone shows up. Next thing you know, you got to dig 2 holes. Mess around, you spent out there all night digging holes. Is that a kooky conspiracy theory? Or are you just underestimating how shit works? Next segment, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Subscribe to this channel. Remember, we do live streams here 5 days a week, Tuesdays. No Tuesdays. We're off Tuesdays and Saturdays. We're here at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, become members of the Tim Black Show. The truth America deserves. Next on Tim Black. Yeah, baby, we cooking with heat. We're cooking with heat now, John, so get into it. Feeling good.
Deck with Tim Black.
But you know what I've never seen a federal agent working a case do is pull a mask up so nobody knows who they are and go out and terrorize a civilian population. And I think it's important for us at this point to be very plain speaking when we say that this is not normal, it's not acceptable, and it's a danger sign. We are well past the point where we can just identify danger signs and say, oh, there might be problems down the road. The problems are here, they're in the right now.
What'd she say, guys? Hold on a second, Black America. What'd she say? Let's rewind this person. I know I couldn't have heard that correctly.
With Tim Black.
But you know what I've never seen a federal agent working a case do is pull a mask up so nobody knows who they are and go out and terrorize a civilian population.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
It must be nice to live in a world where you don't know anything about how the world works. And you can just make up your own reality and deny things exist and pretend that they've never occurred before. You know, it's like the first time you ate, I don't know, the first time you had a taste of red velvet cake. I remember the first time I had red velvet cake. I was at a family member's home. It was like an aunt or something. They had like a potluck and someone there made it. And I was like, wow, what's that red cake? And someone said, Tim, that's red velvet cake. And I said, wow, red velvet. They said, would you like to try? I said, sure, I'd love to try. You know? But I actually was cooler than that. I was like, okay. Okay. You know, that's what my son does when he wants to try shit. He don't want to look pressed. It's like, hey, you want this steak and cheese? Okay. Okay. Want this free internet? What the hell? How about these free water seltzer things from Paris that you like to drink? Would you like a case of those? Okay, sure. Right. If you're going to bend my arm and twist my arm behind my back and push it up towards my skull and almost rip my shoulder out, you know, okay. You know, make me do it. So I ate the red velvet cake. And I swear it tastes like nothing red and nothing velvety about it. It just was red looking. I was not impressed, but it looked different. And they say you eat with your eyes first. So I get it. Overrated, by the way. Overrated. Red velvet cake, overrated. You know, but here's my point. After I ate the red velvet cake, I did not walk around going, wow, red velvet cake. I didn't know. Oh, the world, red velvet cake. Yes, we have it. This new invention called red velvet cake. Wow, let me put out a press release. Let's do a documentary. Do a public service announcement about red velvet cake. Why did I do that? Why did I not do that? Because I'm not a moron. And I'm not stupid enough to think the world revolves around me. I may have just tried it. Other people been had red velvet cake. And this is what I mean. This is what I mean about this Nancy Drew looking mofo. You know what I'm saying? She's talking as if all the rest of us haven't experienced or known about jump outs or undercover cops and people operating without clear identification on their jacket. They got a badge. It's in their freaking pocket. And if they get you, they go, hey, after they got you. Like, there are sting operations, and if you go down 13th Street in D.C., across from the Mayflower Hotel, and you try to pick up a little friendly companionship, you may be greeted by one of these people. It's called picking up tricks or tricks getting tricked. It's what they do, man. But now this Nancy Kerrigan looking mofo, this person here, she doesn't understand that she didn't just discover Bigfoot. Motherfucker, this has been going on for 100 years. Cops been lying, pretending. Ever since the first slave catchers put on some mud on their faces and pretended to be black, we've been dealing with cops posing. Sometimes we've had cops pose like they're part of the crew. Like they had cops and infiltrators working against Malcolm X. I mean, it's always been cops posing, goofy. The fact that you just discovered it's kind of a scary thing. It just shows you should never be in charge of anything at any time, hopefully, and not responsible for anyone. Because if you don't know that, you don't know anything. I keep saying that I ain't got a problem with people being dumb. Just stop being dumb around people that know shit. Because we get tired of you insulting our intelligence.
And I think it's important there might be, that exercise their lawful right of self-defense to protect themselves, thinking they're being kidnapped. So the notion that this is for
thinking they're being kidnapped. Look, guys, I remember driving on a suspended license. When I got pulled over, and it's like, oh, hey, can we? Yeah, it looks like I knew what they were talking about. I knew my license was suspended. I knew that. I had tickets. This lady thinks that people that are undocumented don't know they're undocumented. Like they don't know they ain't got their green card or that their thing expired or whatever the hell it happened, right? As if they don't have an inkling, like they just jumped out of a coconut tree. Like they don't know what's going on. Like they're like, wow, cops, I didn't have any idea. They're not dressed like they're from around your way. So now you're surprised and shocked. She's just talking like these people just unbeknownst to them. Like when they say assume the position, they're like, oh. Yeah, this is not a movie. It's not a movie, Goofy. People know stuff. People act like they don't know. What, me? Huh? Me? What did I do? Hope they don't know what I did. They know what they did.
Law enforcement's protection is utterly ludicrous, and we need to do away with that.
Next on deck.
Yeah, let's keep going, Johnson.
With Tim Black.
Community, all these mixed status families, $8.5 billion in tax collection in California every year from undocs. $8.5 billion that we receive just at the state level of taxes. That was the last Pew estimate. So it's not insignificant. Backbone, it's half of our agriculture work. You care about farmers and ranchers? If that's what your number one go-to commitment, then you sure as hell should care about their workers. 41% of our construction workers, Texas and California have the highest percentage of their construction workers that would fall into that category. How the hell do we rebuild Altadena and Palisades? We're going to need a peak next year. We estimate about 70,000 workers. Without that workforce, ain't going to happen. You're struggling here. You imagine a peak there. So I think there needs to be a pathway for those folks as we secure the border, and we own that issue.
Do you feel that they're taking American jobs?
Not in Tulare County. Not in Ventura County. I don't know many people that want a job out there in those packing facilities. Mm-hmm. I don't see many people look like me jumping at those jobs. I just don't. Maybe there's some exceptions. I haven't seen the evidence of that.
Next.
Yeah, damn it, Johnson.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Let's be clear about something here. Even on his own admission, he said 40% of construction jobs in California and Texas are undocumented immigrants. He's admitting that 60% are not, or are documented or citizens, right? Sounds to me like you already got people doing the job, don't it? Yeah, here goes an idea. You said, how are we going to rebuild things if we have to rely on people that aren't here that we no longer have because they're no longer in the country? I say hire more of the 60% of people that you already had, or maybe pay them more. Yeah, there's always this thing. You could pay more. You could pay more. You mean to tell me there's nobody that would take a job? If you got 60% of the people doing it are people that are citizens or have their paperwork in order or whatever the hell, why not just hire some more of those people? Have them go get some of their friends. They got to know somebody driving Uber or somebody working at Amazon Prime or doing Instacart or any of the other shit jobs, gig jobs that don't really come with benefits that they're doing. Yeah, they want to get a $10 to $20 raise per hour. You mean to tell me we got young people, young people, able-bodied people that wouldn't want to go make more money? Is that what you're telling me, really? With a straight face, Mr. jazz hands. We got people that don't want to go work. And if they don't work, then, how are we ever going to rebuild things that we do? And when you say, hey, they're bringing in tax revenue, $8 billion worth of tax revenue. Here goes my question to you, and I acknowledge that that's a lot of money. I do acknowledge that $8 billion is a lot of money. Here's my question, though. How much money is spent every year in resources or fees or accommodations or whatever in order to, house, support those people? Yeah, what's the price tag? Because I know New York's price tag was I know it was billions. I know New York was spending billions of dollars. California, I gotta assume was spending billions of dollars as well. So what's the tax? What does the tax benefit look like when you stack that up and you subtract how much money you're putting out? Yeah, what about that? Does that bring the number down? I got a feeling it brings the number down significantly. Good follow-up question to the interviewer. He could have posed that question. Guess, kind of got past him. He said other things. I forget what they are. I was going to take notes, but I didn't want to look inattentive. Yeah, Gavin Newsom, man, just say it, dude. You're just shit. Just admit. You want your slaves. And if you can't have them, look, it's just so much prison labor it's going to do for you. You already got the prison labor fighting the fires, and it's like you're going to need your gardeners. You're going to need these people to work, to have the handsy, rich, white old bastard putting his hands on the young worker. The young hospitality worker, or the live-in maid, or whatever the hell, the nurse, the wet nurse, whatever it is, helping with the kids. Like Schwarzenegger, where he was with the nanny. You're always gonna need that, right? Is that really what you're leaving out, sir? I just think family just love exploiting people. I don't know why I think that, other than I don't know history. I don't know, because that's what they've been doing all this time. And some of it say it out loud. And some of it say it in code. And Gavin Newsom, he just said it out loud. And I don't care about any of his excuses. At the end of the day, the current immigration setup, the way this implemented, it hurts workers. It drives down the cost of labor. You need to go after those corporations that hire these people. In the story, it's no different than if you had a strike and you got a bunch of scabs coming in taking the jobs. They have no reason to negotiate with the workers because they got scabs. That's why people don't like scabs. And basically, you got a bunch of scabs that are willing to take jobs, pay less, have less benefits and protections, all of that. How could that not depress wages for everybody else? How could it not? It's just logic. And these guys like talking as if saying a bunch of words or doing word salad somehow lessens reality or changes what's really going on, fam. There are industries that Black Americans have lost their foot in the door. We lost these, so we got jobs going overseas, a la Clinton, right? With the NAFTA and all the other bullshit, right? Then we have the influx of immigration coming to take the jobs that were left and doing them for pennies on the dollar or a low dollar on the dollar. You know what I'm saying? And then we just got employers going, hey, I'd rather hire the people that'll work for less. I get that. Who doesn't understand that? But we got to change it. We have to change it. In LA, folks, Black Americans, 8% of the population, damn near 40% of the homeless population. You don't think that has anything to do with what the shit policies? What does it have to do with it? Even you're going to say, oh, the black people just don't want life. They don't want to live indoors. Just say it, because that's really what the liberals mean, right? They say you're your friend. They say they support you. They say, we couldn't get elected without you. We owe you blacks, and I'm never going to forget it. Got right in office and forgot all about that shit. So even you're going to say it's because black people don't give a shit about living indoors, which we know would mean they got, would mean you're saying we're dumb as rocks, or you have to admit that there's something with the policies. Yeah, the policies that would support having such a disparity. Such a disparity, right? I'm telling you folks, don't tell me that you got able-bodied people that won't work a job that pays decent wages or good wages. Don't tell me there are people that won't take that job. And the people telling you that there are no people that'll take that job are people that work for the people that are posting those jobs, who don't want those people because they rather pay these people less money. And it's that simple. End of press conference.
On deck with Tim Black. Next on deck with Tim Black.
People's belief that the democratic system will work is when they think that they got a shot, not the shaft. And they've been getting the shaft. And I mean, not to age ourselves in this interview.
You're a lot older than I am.
Okay, yeah, let's be very clear. A lot older, okay? And wiser and more experienced there.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay. You used to work hard, you could get ahead.
Yeah.
That was at least, if it wasn't true, you believed it to be true. Today, you work hard and you run in place. And you're not going anywhere. You're just on a treadmill sweating. And that, to me, is there's this breakdown, and democracy doesn't get restored just by access or rules or process points.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
That's Democrats. Democrats are doing so badly right now that they'll bring out anybody. Every Democrat can crawl out of the crevices and cracks underneath the trash out back. Behind the dumpster, behind the carry-out. All the Democrats are coming out from all the disgusting places right now to get in front of a camera and say, hey, I know what's wrong with the Democrats. Yeah, I know what's wrong with them too. You. Rahm Emanuel, you are garbage. You deserve to be back in the pail. Don't crawl from under the pail back into the microphone. Climb inside the pail. Somebody close the damn lid. I got 2 words for Rahm Emanuel. Laquan McDonald. Anybody here don't know who Laquan McDonald is? He's the 17-year-old kid who got gunned down while Rahm Emanuel was mayor, and then they swept it under the rug, and Rahm had something to do with it. Now, a couple of lower people fell on a sword for it, but we always knew who was holding the sword. Rahm Emanuel, we don't like you, we don't trust you, we don't want you. End of press conference.
People believe in the system when they believe in their economic livelihood. And young Republican Party, and you look there.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Part of this is a backlash to how badly Biden handled the immigration situation. It can't just be like come one, come all, which
Dude,
it was.
There's plenty of room here, and we need
room.
There's plenty of room in America. Come on, there's not
plenty of houses. Legs. Where they gonna live at? Where they gonna live at? Room like what? They want to go live in the middle of Oregon, somewhere in the pasture, some of the Everglades. Like where you want to put them at? Legs. You know, we got Mexicans complaining about Americans and Canadians and Australians, basically anybody white from white countries or westernized countries coming over into Mexico, taking up all the damn area. Lex here thinks we got all the area in the world. Yeah, that no one wants to live in, it isn't built up. Yeah, I'm sure you could go find somewhere in the deserts of Arizona a nice, comfortable place for them. But that ain't where they go, is it, Legs? They go to our neighborhoods and take all the resources out of them because they get prioritized. I wonder why they get prioritized, Legs. That's what should have been said, but you know, I guess you'd have to really give a shit to make that type of argument and retort. Right, Bill?
Lack of room in America.
But it's never about room, it's about resources and about like having countries have to have a border. It just can't be, I mean, they've done surveys and something like, which
Dude,
it was.
There's plenty of room here, and we need
room.
There's plenty of room in America. Come on, there's not a lack of room in America.
But it's never about room, it's about resources and about like having countries have to have a border. It just can't be, I mean, they've done surveys.
Simply amazing.
Now, that's what I'm talking about, eh? I can rock with that.
Hey, when you're right, you're right. Bill Maher was right about that one.
And something like 200 million people around the world, when asked, would you come to America if you could? Yes, I would. Why wouldn't they? Lots of countries, are shitholes.
Right.
And they would love to be here. You can't
I'm
let
not right. No, right. The places aren't shitholes, but...
Listen to Leguizamo change his point. Yeah, look at him shift his hips and change his point here. Yeah, he kind of slipped up and said reality, said truth. Here he goes.
Like having countries have to have a border. It just can't be, I mean, they've done surveys and something like 200 million people around the world, when asked, would you come to America if you could? Yes, I would. Why wouldn't they? Lots of countries, are shitholes.
Right.
And they would love to be here.
He quickly said right. Then he thought about it. Hey, that's probably not the good answer because I am a progressive liberal liar. Advocated for the Latino people who don't believe in reality.
Are shitholes.
Right.
And they would love to be here. You can't.
He said it very plainly. It was like it went right here. It went from here to here. You know what I'm saying? It didn't go around the brain with stopping off at the liberal bookstore to pick up a Marxist novel, the dictionary for progressives, the empowerment, DEI empowerment, initiative critique. Nah, he didn't go through the pros. He didn't go have a conversation with my brother, Dr. Cornel West. Oh, my brother. Didn't do any of that. Didn't stop by AOC. We gotta be upset. Nah, he just thought it. He heard it, and he said what naturally came out of his mouth was what he really thought. And then he has to recalibrate. And that's the problem. That's the problem.
And something like 200 million people around the world, when asked, would you come to America if you could? Yes, I would. Why wouldn't they? Lots of countries, are shitholes.
Right.
And they would love to be here. You can't
I'm not right. No, right. The places aren't shitholes, but...
Well, they are. That's why they want to come.
And it's usually because of America, what America's done, especially in Latin America, has beat up every democracy that was burgeoning in Latin America. They destroyed it to keep their oil or their resources or bauxite or bananas.
Like, if you don't really...
Oh, let's help build those countries up. Let's build those countries up. Here goes the solution here, Legs. How about we help fix those countries that America fucked up? Okay, but let's start with fixing Black Americans because America fucked us up. Want to do that? You on board with that? Because never heard you ever say anything about that. Yeah, never heard that. Yeah, you keep saying how, the Latinos built America. Really? Was it a job or were you the job? Yeah, you had a job, but we were the job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't get paid for the job. You did. So I'm just pointing out. So I got a solution, Legs, where we can both be on the same page. Right? How about you and I? We team up and we say, hey, Fix Latin America. Fix it. That's it. Fix it. Fix the blacks, Black America, Black America. When I say black, I don't mean color. I mean Black America as in Black Americans. I may say blacks, but I mean Black Americans. Somebody's like, oh, I'm not brown. I'm not black. I'm brown. You dumbass. And white people are not the crayon white. Let's keep up. Come on, Skip. Come on, Skippy. Let's keep up. Back to you, Legs. Look, let's do a tour, man. Fix Black America. Fix Latino. Fix Latin America. There we go. And then you ain't got to come over here, and we ain't got, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got to support you over here. We can support you in your country. Shouldn't that be what you want them to do? Like wouldn't that make more sense? Instead of coming here and like being like, yo, this country, it's profiling me. Because that's really what you're saying, right? You just said they messed up Latin America, but they got to fix that. And I support them fixing that. See, here's the difference, guys. I'm on the record. I'm saying I support America fixing Latin America. You know what? You will not hear them say they support America for repairing Black America. They'll say quick, I come over here to make money. I came over here to send money over to my family. I came over here to make some dough. I came over here for the opportunity. They will not say anything. They don't give a shit. Okay? So this is why I have the politics I have, because I know other people put themselves first. You're not winning an award by putting other people in front of the plight of you and your family. Nah, it'd be different if that's what everyone doing. Everyone not doing it. Everybody's going, I need mine. And we got goofies who are listening to Al Sharpton, who's got his. Roland Martin, who's got his. Maxine Water, who's got hers. You listen to black people that already got theirs, telling you, just wait till you get to the afterlife. They living in theirs now, goofy. All right, let's keep going. I'm sorry, we're off track. My bad. Just, let's get back. Let's get back.
We have rights, like as far as like women's rights in most majority Muslim countries. Women just don't have close to the rights we have here. If you can't dress the way you want. If you are in a country where there's just extreme poverty, which a lot of countries have, or if there's like the kind of corruption, and we have corruption here, of course, but on a level.
Well, we have extra new corruption with the meme coin.
But it is on a level in some countries that's way, way more.
Well, we're catching up. We're catching up.
We're catching up, but we still.
No, it's still.
There's a reason why people want to come.
Dude, you can do all. Come on, man. Latin America's the king of corruption, man. It's like you get a ticket and just be like, "Here goes $2. Here goes $5." I mean, it's basically want your children. You want my children for $5? Like it's, are we gonna take your kids if you ain't got $20? I mean, the level of corruption and this rampant shit that's in different countries in Latin America, man. Come on, man. Yeah, we don't know what happened to the ballots. They just knife you while you're running. They just car bomb you. I mean, Johnson. I mean, I'm not saying we don't have a lot of problems. I talk about the problems. But Legs is not being honest, man. I mean, at some point, I'm going to do a video on this because he done sparked it. He done poked the dragon there. Messing with the grizzly. I'm the grizzly and the revenant. When you start lying like this, Legs. These are different things. These are not. The corruption that we're talking about in these other some of these other countries, it's different type of corruption, man. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so let's keep it a buck. We got corruption. Our whole justice system is corrupt, right? It is, but we got extremes. We you know what I'm saying? We got Frank's Red Hot Sauce corruption. And y'all got Ghost Pepper corruption over that motherfucker. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, our corruption, can I have a sip of that? little hot here. It's a little corruption over here. And your corruption over in Latin America, various places in Latin America, is like somebody call Wambulance. Call Wambulance. Call the Wambulance. That's the level of corruption that's in those other countries. Let's keep going, man. Be honest, man. Can't fix what you won't admit.
Come here because it's still better.
But I got to tell you, I mean,
if you live in a country where you can take a chicken on a bus, that was always my standard. Okay, I think I have the right to call that a shithole country, and I see why you want to come here. It's not your fault you live in a shithole. It doesn't mean you're a shithole person. But you had the misfortune of being born there, and I get it why you would want to move here.
Right, but the thing is that the immigrants that are coming here.
Legs didn't even defend it. Why? You just let it go this time. See, you're being honest now. And maintain honesty, Goofy. That's all I'm saying, Legs. Maintain honesty. Look, you had an open invitation, Legs. When I call you Goofy, I mean that fondly. You got an open invitation, Leguizamo, to come on the Tim Black Show. We used to talk on Twitter before I got excommunicated. Yeah, before everyone turned their guns on me because I started talking pro-black. You may know a little bit about how that feels, but then again, the certain treatment that you're getting now, it's like you become more popular by talking about Latinos. But when you start advocating for Latinos, you got bigger. I advocate for black people, I get smaller. And that basically is the end of the press conference. We both saw, we both lived it. That's it. I started advocating for black Americans. I take a hit. You blow up. Benny Blanco? All right, so anyway, you got an open invitation to come on the show and have a real conversation. I'd love for you to do that. Hit me up, bruh. Next.
Are building the country. They're the essential workers.
They are.
They're the first responders. They're doing all your construction, painting, plumbing, raising all your food, cooking all your food, serving all your food.
Kids, taking care of your kids.
Taking care of your kids. We do all the work that nobody wants to do.
People are doing, hold on a second. See, this is why I get pissed, man. They want credit for doing things that obviously other people did it. You didn't invent it, right? Like, are you going to say there's never been any whites or blacks or Asians that built a house? You didn't invent building houses. It's just you came in and we wanted $25 an hour. You took 12. That's all it is. Stop bragging like it's a bragging right. We were working at the hotel for $12 an hour, and you took 7 and gave a happy ending. That's what it was. Can we be honest at all? That's the difference. That's the difference, Legs. And this makes it difficult to get great guests when you're being dishonest, because they like to go in here and lie and make up stuff and not acknowledge. That's why they hire you. It's like the woman. They didn't hire you for your cooking, Legs. David Allengray's mother's face from Boomerang. When she walked out the bathroom with John Witherspoon, and he was like this. Somebody open the window. She's cracked. Bang, bang, bang. And she's, I'm just keeping it real, man. Look, guys, you know me, man. I'm going to do my pop culture Gen X shit. You know what I'm saying? Grind it. Grind it. Next.
And keeps the country going. I mean, immigrants are the life source of this country.
Yes, they are. Absolutely. Because, again, we're both products of them.
Yes, we are both.
We need, but what most Americans, I think sensible, middle of the road people would say is, yes, of course, we are an immigrant welcoming country, but there has to be some order to it. it just can't be come one, come all. No, I mean, there was like video people would see of people, just the border guards just looking as people are just like giant trains of people. And, that's why.
A whole pack, huh? You on Mel Gibson Road right now. This is trains of people, a whole packer. What Mel Gibson say?
And then where do they go? They went to cities on the borders who then were like, you know what? If you people in New York think that it's such a great idea to let anybody in, we're going to bust them to you. And then what did the people in New York say? I mean, even the governor of New York was like, we can't take all these people. Mayor Adams was like, and he's right. It's like, these people live here, and now this is their burden to this degree. But I mean, those people,
I agree.
Those cities on the border called the bluff of the sanctuary city. It's very easy to sit there from far away and go, "We're a sanctuary city." Okay, well, here's all the people sanctuary, and then they didn't like it.
Let's fix the immigration problem.
That's the kind of hypocrisy.
Let's fix the legal immigration, because it's a broken system. Right. That people who've been here for 30 years can't be naturalized. That's insane. Who've been working here and giving their lives, and just fix the legal.
Okay, you know what though? I agree with that. I agree with that part. Like, if you've been here 30 years and you've been trying to go through the system, we gotta fix that part. Absolutely, 100%. I will give you that, Legs. Yeah, like if you've been here, you've been trying to get through the system, and you haven't been like breaking the laws. You ain't running. You're not smuggling and human trafficking like my brother Abrego Garcia. You are doing, the Lord's work. Yeah. Then, okay. Well, we got to work that part out, man. You just can't be it doesn't change that 10 to 12 million people came across the board under the last administration. That doesn't change that, man. That does not change that. Tell us where the people at. Tell us where the people that came in the last 3 years at. Go get them. Could we all agree on that? Is that doable? It's going to be an excuse because the Democrats have a political motive. I think we're done with this. We're about to go to the next segment. This is good, though.
Legal immigration. Stop creating these quotas and this blockage.
He did finally have to go back on that and say, the people who work
farms
because who does he think cleans the rooms in his hotel?
Right, exactly.
Who do you think mows the lawn
in all his
at your golf club around your first wife's grave?
And why do they do it though? See, that's the thing. Everybody wants they like having this conversation, man. They like saying, who's gonna do it? Anybody, if you pay better. That's who would do it. There are all types of people working all types of jobs at any given moment. We got people working at McDonald's not because they want to. And some of those people that's working at McDonald's are snapping. Literally snapping and killing their manager. You don't think they would go do another job if it paid more? But see, now we get back to the corporations, and in fact, the corporations want the cheap labor. That's why they want you. It's not because Earthquake said it. Why you working so hard, amigo? You're just gonna give us another roof. You working like this will be the last roof. They got more roofs to do. So anyway, here it is what it is, guys. Look, this is a great conversation, man. I appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like button if you like the content so far. I tell you, this is not a news show. We talk about the news. I cover the news, but I am not Don Lemon. I am not Joy Reid. I am not Sean Hannity. I am not any of these people. I'm Tim Black. We do it differently here. All right? So support independent media. But speaking of that, I got this new thing I'm working on, and I want to share it with you. We just hit 200,000, and I'm launching the Black Truth Challenge to hold sellouts accountable. First up, Al Sharpton. Rev, let me get this right. You met with Target CEO. Meanwhile, Jamal Bryant was trying to do a boycott that was going to put $2 billion in black communities, right? What happened to the money, Al? Why is it that you seem to spend more time cozying up to Democratic powers, like Kamala Harris, for instance, instead of fighting for the economic viability of black communities? Why do you choose their checks over our economic power? Black America, our families deserve better. Tag somebody in this post that you want to challenge. Ask them a pointed question. I'm talking politicians, media, anybody. Post your question with the hashtag Black Truth Challenge. Let's make this trend. Al Sharpton, the clock's ticking. Answer us. Who's next up for the Black Truth Challenge? Put it in the comment section below. The Tim Black Show, out. That's me right there, fam. So look, this is how this works. Hashtag Black Truth Challenge. What we're going to do is we're going to get this going on all platforms, fam. I've already started with the first video. I will have successive or following videos calling out different people, right? And it's open for you to submit too. So do your 60-second video using the hashtag Black Truth Challenge. And we're going to continue to call out people that deserve calling out. We talk about media personalities and politicians. I already got some people's names that are popping in my head. I just want you to come up with them on your own. And what we're going to do is, say you want to get started in media. Say you're already in media. Say you got some political axes to grind and some issues that you want to get out there. Well, this is one way to do it. We're basically crowdsourcing our opposition, right? We're crowdsourcing our frustration. We're crowdsourcing our voices. That's it. We're crowdsourcing our voices, putting them together, and we're going to raise the roof, right? So right now it's Al Sharpton. So with this particular video, I tagged Al Sharpton. It's been on Facebook, it's on X, and now it's on YouTube. It's on 3 platforms. Join us, be a part of this. Once again, hashtag Black Truth Challenge. That's it. Be a part of it. Hit me up or just tag it. Just post it and tag me. I will be checking those platforms for that content. And if I don't see it, you can always drop me a link to your content. But tag it. You got to tag it. Hashtag Black Truth Challenge. All right. Let's keep going, family.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
I'm Mexican. Watch what I have to do every single fucking day. Keys. I'm just gonna go on a walk with my dog. ID. Because I need to have that on me at all times. Pass card. Copy of my pass card. Because I also need to have that on me at all times. And now I am ready to go on a walk with my dog outside my apartment complex in my community.
Next on deck with...
Yeah, you know, I saw this video, and the first thing I was thinking, family, I don't know if I'm just to make sure my volume's up. I don't know if it's just me, but I do everything she's talking about. Every time I leave the house, except for the pass thing. Because I don't have a pass thing. But I gotta have keys. How am I supposed to get back in the house? Psychic ability? You shouldn't really put keys in there. Like, people need keys. Like, where you live in? Mayberry? Can leave the doors open? You ain't got to lock the door? This is goofy. Okay, so then you said your ID. I have my ID when I leave the house, and I'm black. I'm not Mexican, but I'm black, and I take my ID. I think most of us take ID with us because anybody can match the description. And if the cops pull you over or stop you and you don't have ID, they'll keep you detained until they are sure who you are. I don't know if you've been in the country a long time. You must not have been. That's common. Yeah, when you come to a country, maybe it's a good idea to socialize with the natives. Then you'll find out what's kind of basic. It's basic to have an ID. I mean, I remember doing live streams. I used to live stream when I used to go for walks. I'd take my phone, and I used to complain too, like, damn, I got to carry my ID. And I didn't have a fanny pack. And frankly, I'm too cool for fanny packs, right? least I thought I was. And there were people in my comment section like, you better take your ID, Tim Black. What are you, crazy? Please take your ID, Tim. We don't want the cops to shoot your ass. Because not having ID is just asking for trouble. Because you never know what's going to happen around you. You don't control a cop saying, who the hell are you? Somebody else did something and they might have on the same shorts. So yeah, the only thing I don't go through that you go through is the passport thing. But then again, I'm in the U.S. and I was born here. So that's why I don't have one of those. But if I went to another country and they said, you got to carry this or leave, I think I'd carry it. See, folks, what I'm saying is, for every annoying person that's saying horrible things online about immigrants, we got people like this saying dumb things to Americans that totally shoot them all in the foot. I mean, with a Draco. There's no foot left when you are arguing and you're bitching about having to carry your ID. And nothing for nothing, sister. I noticed you said you were going to walk your dog. You know what you did not say? You did not say you were going to pick up after that damn dog. You know, in my neighborhood, I got way too many people walking dogs. They don't bring pooper scoopers, no bag to put their dog's waste in, nothing. Just nice little gifts all around the neighborhood in spots they shouldn't be. You basically told on yourself because you did not include that. That should have been the first thing your ass picked up. Also, you didn't talk. Did you have a leash? Did you have a leash in your hand? I don't remember if I saw a leash. A leash and a pooper scooper thing. Yeah, those are important to have. Important. At the end of the day, if you can't carry an ID, if you can't carry your license, ID, if you can't carry your pass, whatever that is, if it's too much trouble to bring your keys, you ain't built for this. Nah, you're not built to be here. That's how that works. You're not built for this because we've been having to carry those things forever. Next.
Community.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
It's rather unusual for El Taco Loco, a taco shop near 67th Avenue and Indian School, to have their doors locked on the outside and an empty dining room on the inside. The West Valley Taco Joint also operates a bus in Goodyear and a food truck in Southwest Phoenix. Here at 55th Avenue and Baseline is where El Taco Loco's food truck typically stands. People in this area tell us this has really been a food truck staple of the South Phoenix area. People believe it may have been seized yesterday as part of a federal investigation, and because of that, it is not here today. Tuesday afternoon, people in the South Phoenix area started posting videos on TikTok showing federal agents with HSI and ICE taking workers out of the food truck in handcuffs. And just a mile down the road, the home belonging to the taco shop's owner, Vladimir Angulo, also flooded with federal agents. It's one of 5 locations where HSI and ICE owner Vlad.
Yeah, it's not a bad crib there. That's got a fountain out there and everything. Kind of nice. It pays to hire the undocumented, which is the real reason why they hire them. Not because, oh, look, great. No one else could ever do this. They just pay them less, goofy. So, not secret.
Vladimir Angulo also flooded with federal agents. It's one of 5 locations where HSI and ICE were investigating allegations of human smuggling and harboring of illegal immigrants. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Arizona tells 12 News Angulo is in federal custody, awaiting charges related to this case. At previous stops here in the Valley, President Trump's border czar Tom Homan warned these kind of arrests were coming.
If you knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from ICE, that is a felony, and there will be consequences. Now, let me make it clear. The governor says I don't have the authority to do that. Well, no, I'm not a U.S. attorney, but U.S. attorney certainly does, and we'll ask for prosecution.
Next on deck.
Yeah, I noticed Tom had to turn to the side to get through there. That's beside the point, though. Hey, Tom. Good job. Good job. I know it wasn't you. I know it wasn't you. Good job anyway. Yeah, go out to more of these scumbags. Yeah, like, I accept criticism. I need to also focus on the corporate people. Like the dude with the nice ranch house. It's doing the human trafficking, human smuggling. Yeah, that guy. I wonder how he treats his employees. Yeah, that's the part people are leaving out. They leave that part out. We do all the work. Mm-hmm. Okay. You mean like Cassie Ventura? Here's my point, man. We got to go out to the political players, but we got to go out to the economic players, and those will be the corporations that benefit from this. It's not just, I'm not here to demonize people wanting money. I want money too. You got to want money. In America, you will live outside. You got to want money, of course. I'm not demonizing people for wanting a better life. What I'm saying is you wanting a better life should not come at the expense of the black community. I just choose to stand up for that. I get it. Look, we ain't got to agree. I'm fine. I'm fine with people not agreeing and having to leave because they don't support that. Fine. But someone's got to support it, and you just happen to be watching a show that does. Listen, go out to those corporations. Do more of that. Go after bigger ones. Here's the problem, though, guys. I know we're saying that, but guess what corporations got? And guess what people who are in these positions have? Good lawyers. Now, I'm not saying you can't get them, but let's keep that in mind. It's the same reason why they went after the low-level drug dealers. Go after the corner boys. They got to build a big case to go after the big dogs. I'm not saying don't go after the big dogs. Go after them at the meatpacking industries, the construction sites, whatever. Go get them. Go get the people that hired them. Make them prove that they didn't know nothing. That's right. Go get those people. All right. Let me know what y'all think. Put it in the comment section, man. We on the road, man. I got to go. We got to get to my primary story for tonight. Where we at, Johnson? It's coming up soon. Not yet. It's coming up.
With Tim Black.
Trump's agenda. He told donors this over the weekend, quote, I think it's going to require a little bit less navel gazing and a little less whining and being in fetal positions, Obama said, according to excerpts of his remarks exclusively obtained by CNN. And it's going to require Democrats to just toughen up.
Next on deck.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Oh, Barack. You still talking? Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear you apologize to Black America about how we just don't like women or something. Yeah, you were talking down to black men. When black men, look, contrary to my support, this went against everything I was talking about, right? I wanted us to, to vamoose. Black men voted for Kamala Harris more than any other men in the country. And still, what they get for that? Having to listen to your scrawny ass tell them they got a problem with black women. I know we get a lot of people online talking a lot of smack, but black men marry black women more than any other people marry black women and have kids with them too. I know I'd have. So I can't speak for any goofies who don't love their woman or their wife or whatever. But I guess gotta say, man, it's hard listening to you, because you lie a lot. You know what I'm saying? You don't tell the truth. You're a political operative, and that's all you ever been. You sold people a bill of goods, and I don't forget you were operating within a system. But on some shit, it looked like you didn't even try when it came to Black America. You just didn't. You were very upfront about not trying for us. So You're never going to live that down. It's always going to be there. And I know you're not talking to me. You're talking to your Democratic operatives saying they don't have guts or courage or backbones and stop crying and complaining. That's great. I wish you would have talked to the white folks like that when you were in office. Instead of all time after time, seemed like you was talking to us like that. You know? Find time for you to grow a spine and talk to the white people about them getting out the fetal position and you know, sucking it up and getting a backbone. You could have been saying that before, but when you got caught saying it one time about Republicans, you walked that shit back faster than Michael Jackson's moonwalk. So anyway, it's interesting to see you now be a little bit more outspoken. But in my opinion, it's, you know, way too late. Not enough and way too late. So go on, Barack. Former President Barack Obama. Next. Yeah, we're going to breeze through that. I ain't going to spend all day, man. We got...
With Tim Black.
What about for your values? I mean, is 8 years old too young?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, look, I now that I have a 9-year-old, just became 9. Come on, man. I get it. So those are legit.
Look, man, they're talking about surgery, whatever, the surgery stuff, removement of body parts for children. And the interviewer just asked Gavin Newsom, you don't think 8 years old is too young or 9 years old? Listen to this guy's response. People are saying, Gavin Newsom's on a short list. He going to help save the Democrats. It's either him or Kamala or AOC or something. Or it ain't this guy. Nah, it can never be this guy. Listen to his answer to a very basic question. The context is very basic. We all get it now. Let's go.
About for your values, I mean, is 8 years old too young?
Yeah, I mean, look, I now that I have a 9-year-old, just became 9. Come on, man. I get it. So those are legit. You know, it's interesting, just the issue of age. As someone that's been so focused on equality, broadly, LGBT rights, particularly gay marriage. Mm-hmm. The trans issue for me is also novel. It's over the last few years. I'm trying to understand
what the
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Oh, man, there's something to be said about people being straight shooters and just saying what they think and what they believe. With this guy, you never know what he thinks or believes. That's because he doesn't believe really in anything. This is how this should have went. Hey, man, what do you think about reassignment surgery for kids? What do you mean kids? 8, 9, 10-year-olds. Hell no. That's what I think. I think that's grossly, I don't think you don't even know what your favorite color is. You don't know anything at 8. You think Santa's real at 8. What are you talking about? That's lunacy to know what you like sexually when you just figured out how to use the bathroom in a toilet. I'm just saying, this is stupid shit. So Gavin Newsom couldn't come up with an answer, start hemming and hawing and doing all this dancing. Man, this is why these people suck, man. This is why, because you can't trust them. They're not real people, they're cyborgs. If someone asks you a question this basic, it's like the people that don't understand why Ketanji Brown Jackson is horrible. It's not because she's a black woman, man. That's not why I had criticism of her. It's a legal case where some black employees were trying to sue a major corporation, and she shot them down. I remember that, and I wanted them to ask her about that. Shit, I wanted to ask her about that. That's one reason. The other reason was when someone asks you, hey, how do you define a woman? And you're a woman and you can't answer? Now, I know they're trying to put you in a trick bag, but you just got to be honest and say, hey, women make kids. Women some women who are able to reproduce, they reproduce. They sit down when they pee. I don't know. You say basic stuff. You don't go, well, I'm not a physicist or a professor of anatomy or a physiological whatever. And that's what I'm saying, fam. And we got a person that won't do basic, they won't admit water's wet. The grass is green when it's treated properly. You know, that the Clips are a banging ass group. You know, Kendrick had a moment, you know what I'm saying, for a whole year. You know, Hot Boy Summer. You know, I don't know if you want to admit, you know, that pizza's delicious. Fried chicken tastes good and watermelon's thirst quenching. Just because a white guy's watching you doesn't mean you don't eat that damn chicken. You know what I'm saying? Help him. Take a bite out the drumstick. He's want some too. Like a white guy told me, Tim, everybody loves grease. So if I can't trust you to be honest about, you got a 9-year-old, the question is, you think 8-year-olds are cognitively aware that they could ask for and should be granted based on their own requests to have their bodies modified with a surgery that cannot be reversed? You can't answer that question and you have a 9-year-old. What does that say about this guy? Basically, what I'm trying to tell you, press conference over. I get it. I understand you, Gavin. You should never be president. Or not president of the United States. You shouldn't be president of a little league. President of a tenants association of your complex, if you lived in one. I know you live in a mansion somewhere. And you definitely, positively should not be the governor of California. Yeah, California. Next. Damn, I feel like this is a very long night, man.
Much as anyone else. Whole pronoun thing. Trying to understand all of that. Well, you know, that was like the hell. I mean, all that stuff. I get it.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
He says stuff, but don't say anything. He didn't say anything. He's a coward. He wants to infer like he gets it, but he don't get it because he say, I get it. The pronoun shit was ridiculous. Go. All right, guys. Now we're into a project that this is my first time really covering Zohran. My first time covering Zohran Mamdani, and we want to try to do it a little bit of justice here. I want to give a shout out to my friend Barbara, who sent me content. Jasmine, I'm sorry. Barbara and Jasmine. Jasmine, thank you for sending content on this. And let's get into Zohran. Yeah, let's get into him. Red Flags is the name of the content. Red Flags. Oh yeah, I guess it's gonna take a minute. We know he's the front runner for the Democratic nomination. He won a Democratic nomination so far. It looks like he's gonna win that.
Do you like capitalism?
No,
And now, you know, we'll see what happens. Here he is in a couple things. I think there's some people that don't even know anything about Zohran. Damn it. There's some people that don't know anything about Zohran. So let's give them a little introduction, kinda, and break down our his stances on a couple issues, some critiques of him, explain what's happening in New York, and then, you know, of course, we'll get into my commentary. Let's go.
Do you like capitalism? No, I have many critiques of capitalism. And I think ultimately the definition for me of why I call myself a democratic socialist is the words of Dr. King decades ago. He said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And that's what I'm focused on, is dignity and taking on income inequality.
He's taking. So the Kalshi, K-A-L-S-H-I markets here.
I just got to say, I want to bust in here. We got Tim Dillon, one of the, he's got a great synopsis of this, but I got to say, guys, no more using Martin Luther King's voice, name, likeness, quotes in your shit like whatever that is you're doing, man. Yeah. Use somebody from Turkey or Istanbul or wherever you're from. Use that. Stop. And it's not just for Zohran, it's for anybody. Stop using MLK. Okay?
Eric Adams is at 20%, Cuomo's at 7%, and the official Democratic nominee is Zohran at 72%. He won over, everybody making over $100,000 a year voted for the guy, and here's one of the reasons, obviously. He is appealing to a demographic of people who are understandably, and understand what I'm saying here because they're not wrong, understandably frustrated that their level of education is not turned into income. And these people were told their entire life that all they had to do to make money was to get a college degree. This is a generation of people that were told that the route to comfort and security was education. And all of those people then graduated from schools in an alarming amount of debt. The constituency that's powering Mamdani's campaign is, by the numbers, a higher educated, higher income group. But they're not high income compared to what you would need to feel rich in New York. I don't feel rich in New York, and I make a hell of a lot more money than these zeros. Now, it doesn't mean that Mamdani's wrong about wealth inequality in America and specifically in New York. He's correct about that. It's the same issue that Donald Trump built a coalition around: fairness. Trump's coalition focused obviously more on immigration, a populist, nationalist uprising against elites in education, media, wherever. Mamdani has a similar thing. It's a populist uprising, but instead of being directed at the elites in media and entertainment, because they largely, many of them are supporting him, not the big elites, not the billionaires. What I'm saying is the big boys and girls, the big institutional money doesn't like the guy. But the rank and file in the media and entertainment kind of like him. So their populist rage is not directed that way.
Next on deck.
Yes.
Tim.
I agree with Tim Dillon on this, man. And I was making a note here. Here it goes. MAGA. MAGA was people that were frustrated with not being able to achieve the American dream after hard work, being able to raise their families and putting in the time at a job and not seeing the results of that come back for them and their children. Same thing here with the educated, the college educated and the high earners, or people that want to make high earners, who went to these schools and created all this debt, and they're coming up with the same point of view that, hey, where's the American dream for me? I feel like I'm being hosed. These are the same two issues, but from vastly different vantage points, all right, and different solutions for them. But when you hit the pain, that's the pain. That's where the pain hurts. Ow, ow. That's what the pain hurts. There are people that say, hey, they respond to that, okay? They respond to the message because they all feel the same pain. Let's keep going.
Black.
And coming to terms with something that really reshapes what's possible and what a coalition looks like, it may take some people time. And what's so exciting to me is that this was a campaign that was laser focused on an economic agenda and on making clear that every New Yorker belongs in this city. They deserve the same respect, the same recognition. And ultimately, what good is it if we call this the greatest city in the world if the people who built it can't afford to live here? And the increased turnout, it's not just generational. I also say this as the first South Asian elected official, the first Muslim elected official to ever run for mayor. The turnout in those same communities has been incredible to see.
Hello, I'm Andrew Cuomo. And unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know that the Democratic primary did not go the way I had hoped. To the 440,000 New Yorkers who voted for me, a sincere thank you. Thank you for believing in me, in my agenda, and in my experience. And I am truly sorry that I let you down. But as my grandfather used to say, when you get knocked down, learn the lesson and pick yourself back up and get in the game. And that is what I'm going to do.
Now, what he's been doing.
And hey, look, I gotta say, man, when you look at the comparison between the two, you kind of see why they didn't go with Cuomo. I mean, because, he's up there apologizing. Hey, he lost. Yeah, so I didn't win. He should apologize to all the women. Maybe apologize to all the people that died in the nursing homes. But hey, rookie mistake. Pretending like it didn't happen was probably a better way to go, huh? When I hear Zohran talk, though, I can't help but think, pew. I'm just somebody who just doesn't buy this shit. But hey, I'm not a New Yorker who's income inequality is one thing. Wealth inequality is another thing. I just hear rhetoric. I hear talking, but I try to say, you know what though? I get it. If you're up against Cuomo, you're up against Adams. I could see why people would roll the dice with this guy. I'd probably just hit the couch, but I get why they might do what they did. Here goes Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank with a takedown of Zohran that I think makes the list of valid critiques.
Running around the streets of New York saying, free taxis, free subway, free buses for you, free everything. And of course, if you don't understand what that means long term, you might vote for him. They certainly are proposing that. And so this is a classic case of reading Atlas Shrugged. I got my kids reading it, and they're freaking out reading that thing because that's exactly what it's proposing. You can't do this in an environment where there's competition of other states. The money just leaves. Right. The tax base leaves. The capital leaves. The developer leaves. The risk capital leaves. And you're left with a collapsing environment. New York City is it's a horrible message for the American dream. This guy is turning New York into the American nightmare. The money comes in, it flies right over New York City, and it lands somewhere else. That's the problem.
Okay, so red flags about Zohran. Here goes a couple red flags. I got to point out 5 things off the top of the head that I wrote down that I think we should consider. People looking at Zohran, they want to know, they want to kick the tires and wondering, hey, what should I think of this guy? First thing I look at is the fact that he didn't get support from the blacks. Why didn't black people support him? Is it that they are against Muslims and Asian Americans? No, that's not it. It's because, hey, he struggled to gain traction with black voters, a key demographic in New York. It showed that Andrew Cuomo outperformed Mamdani with black Americans because he did not speak to any black-related issues. He did that on purpose. He was like Bernie in that way. And I already went through the ringer with Bernie, and Bernie was at MLK rallies, and Bernie got locked up fighting for civil rights, for fair housing. There's footage. Mamdani, no such background. Okay, no such background. So I was prone to give Bernie the benefit of the doubt. But at the end of the day, you got a guy that won't speak to black concerns, black issues, black America. What's there for us? He's telling you he don't see color. He's another I don't see color guy, unless it's Asian, unless it's Indian, unless it's Muslim. And Muslim, we know it's not a color, but you know. So that's it. 70% of residents are black. Precincts where at least 70% of residents are black. They voted for Cuomo, with Cuomo garnering 59 support compared to Mamdani's 26 support. Bernie actually did very well with black Americans because they liked his message. Bernie did well. Mamdani did not. Black people just didn't think he passed the smell test. Number 2, controversy over the racial identification on college applications. I gotta ask this, and this is the thing that I don't know why people were giving him a pass on this. And then I get it. These people are more focused on their wallets, and if they think this guy will put money in their pocket, they don't care if he disrespects black people. He put on a college application, he put himself as Black American. Though he says very straight up, he's from Uganda, he ain't Ugandan. Okay, and he's Asian, right? South Asian. So why would he check black if it wasn't to gain something? What are these people that are willing to accept a BS response, a BS explanation that's totally laughable? Man, come on, man. We're not that gullible. He did it for the same reasons I believe Kamala did it. There was probably an incentive, sort of like Elizabeth Warren, when she put Native American. It was an incentive in helping with the tuition or something. Now, just like, but in Zohran's position, he actually has money in his family. So I really don't know what he wanted to do, why he felt the need to do it, but there was a reason. And don't tell me the reason was he wants us all to get along and he was doing it as a sign of something. Nah, I don't believe that. You know, simple explanation is gonna rule, okay? So yeah, and I and other many other Black Americans and critics didn't like it. And and I'm not saying Eric Adams should become mayor because of it, but I'm saying it is an issue. And if Mayor Eric Adams checked white, you wouldn't be like, well, maybe he was just hanging out with white guys and wants to strike one foot of white solidarity. You'd be like, what's this guy doing? Okay, so yeah, it's a problem. Backlash is expected. In fact, Black New Yorkers rage over Zohran Mamdani's African-American claim. He's a fraud. Yeah, which only further makes my spidey senses go, what the hell is going on? This guy's lying about that. What else is he lying about? Why would you do that? Next, radical policy proposals and economic concerns. The Democratic Populist, the Democratic Socialist platform had some people going like, what the hell? There's always going to be more conservative Black Americans who, when you start talking about stuff that you giving people like free bus rides, they get concerned. I actually like the grocery store thing. Hey, look, he's not talking about one on every block. He's not talking about a bodega. He's talking about a grocery store, right? That we can control the cost, that can control the cost. Some people live near food deserts, man, and they need quality food. I actually support that initiative. Yeah, like I'm trying to call balls and strikes. Keep it 100. I support grocery stores in those boroughs that people can get to that's going to be publicly accessible for anybody to live within those boroughs. They need that. How anybody could have a problem with it, I don't know. They're spending the same amount of money subsidizing Wegmans or Kroger's or whoever they got, right? But the prices get crazy at the Whole Foods. So provide the same level of quality foods. You're spending the money already, spend it in the state government related grocery store. I don't got a problem with that. If people going, oh no, this is socialism, it's scary. Yo, fam. So is the police department and the fire department. You know, these are socialistic, they derive from socialism. These are things that are funded by the state. You don't pay, you personally, your $20 or your $200 and your state taxes do not make sure, the firemen run. I mean, it's still state, right? Okay. So there are other things in the state that you take advantage of, like public libraries, the highways, the roads, the traffic signals, okay? Just put this in that bucket, this one grocery store, not 50 of them, right? But in the 5 boroughs in New York City. It's 5, right? You can do that. That makes sense. Next. Some people say controversial slogans and positions on Israel-Palestine. I feel like there was way too much to be said about this. And what I mean by that is, we got problems going on in America that require our attention. This feels like leaning into something that's going to give him a donor base more so. Like, and I know part of him talking about it, maybe that was because people were throwing it in his face, hoping it would stop him and screw him up with Jewish voters, which is very heavy in New York City. Hey, man, I just don't give a shit what his opinion is. What's that got to do with what he's doing and what he's going to do in New York? If it's my mayor in my city, what he thinks about a international event that did not happen in America, yeah, I think about it, but I'm more concerned about what his local politics is going to be. Yeah, I'm not going to jump out the gym either way. Maybe I am more supportive that he supports Palestinians than I would be if he didn't. Only because I do see a correlation. Like, if you ain't going to go against the grain about this, what else won't you go against the grain on? But he already proven he ain't going to talk about black people shit. But after the election, basically, he met with Al to try to get Al to shut up because Al was a Cuomo guy and he was dumping on him. He's continued to stay dumping on him. So he's kind of like trying to, kiss the ring of Al Sharpton. So he went down to the National Action Network, met with Al, and played a couple Jay-Z songs with him or something. But at the end of the day, like, what? Last but not least, my fifth reason. Lack of management experience and vetting concerns. And this came up during the campaign. They said, hey, Mamdani lacks the experience to manage a city as complex as New York, citing his relatively short tenure in the New York State Assembly since 2020. Some called him the most poorly vetted candidate in history, raising questions about undisclosed aspects of his background, such as hiring a new convicted child sex offender as his communications director. He hired a now convicted child sex offender. Did he hire them before they got convicted or after? I'm just saying it kind of matters when. You hire a guy before he got convicted, you might not even known about the charge. Then you find out he got the charge and you already hired him and then you got to let him go. I'm just saying, like, I'm not that upset about somebody lacking the experience, but I am concerned about who he's going to hire to put around him that has the experience. You understand what I'm saying? So being inexperienced is not the worst thing. I remember my brother used to come on Marcus Furrow used to come on the show. He used to come on the show and he was telling me that he's worked with a number of campaigns. He much prefers working with new politicians than old ones. The old ones already took all the money. They ain't gonna stop taking that money. And he'd rather work with somebody new and try to get them before they become corrupted. So, like, I get it. And Marcus Farrell, if you're out there, what's up, bruh? I get his point. I kind of agree with him because I see what the system does. Not everybody's willing to lose if losing is more ethical or more to stand on their business. You understand what I'm saying? And you definitely ain't going to get that out of career politicians. You ain't going to get that out of Cuomo. It's obvious you ain't gonna get that out of Adams. He's kind of shown his hand about what kind of mayor he's gonna be. So there you go. That's where I'm at. Here's my wrap up on Zohran. I don't trust Zohran, but I don't trust politicians in general. I think Zohran is saying all the right things. I think that's what politicians tend to do. They say the right things. He came with a better game plan than the people that ran against him. And he just executed on it. It was more down to earth, more approachable. All those things, and that matters. That's how he won that election so far. We'll see what happens. Do I think he's the Swiss Army knife for what Democrats need to do? Nah, they need to get real about shit. They need to get real. They need to be able to say they know what a woman is. They need to be able to say 8 years old is too young to chop off your manhood. They need to say, yeah, you know, we need to stop bombing other countries, and we need to say, hey, a border is a good thing, and then support the border. And these are things that I don't think Zohran's really down for. Any of the things I just listed, I don't think he supports. So it ain't my kind of guy, because I'm off that. We need to all kumbaya and just love everybody and bend at their will, no matter if we agree with them or not. Just to make peace, hoping that black people get something out of it. Because at the end of the day, that's not what's been happening. And I think that's why a lot of black people don't support him. Because going along with him on shit we don't agree with, just hoping on the back end he has our backs, Democrats haven't been living up to that. And a democratic socialist may be a socialist. It's still a Democrat. All right, that's why I come at this. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think about Zohran Mamdani? What's your opinion? What did I miss? This won't be the last time we cover him. That's it. Hit the comment section, fam. All right, guys. Let's see what we got, man. Anna Jackson says, yes, sir. Katrina Porter says, I don't trust him. Herschel says, can't trust it. Da, 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 da. Can't trust it. Katrina said, he don't care about us. I don't like him. Sleeve 44 says, hell nah. Black Rose says, Arabs have never been a friend of the FBA until the war in Israel. They want the FBA support, but keep in mind, Arabs still enslave black people in Africa. Yeah, I'm more focused on the fact that I agree with you to a certain extent. And I say this, Black Rose, he hasn't demonstrated that he's trying to ride for black Americans. That's sort of the third rail in politics. And if you ain't going to step on that third rail, as bad as it is, I can't give you my support. I mean, it is what it is. What the hell? I can cook and not burn my house down. I don't know where that is. Herschel said, let me try to get some other people in, man. My bad. Gary says, nothing's free. Somebody always pays. Always. A man cannot raise taxes. Arlene Chambers in the house. Woo-hoo! Cat Negrita. Shout out to you, Arlene Chambers. Shout out to you, Cat Negrita. I didn't see Cat. The Self-Care Maven. Member for 7 months. Congratulations. Thank you, Self-Care Maven. I appreciate you. Here it is. Anna Jackson, man. I like the way Anna Jackson thinks. Here we go. I ain't feeling any of them, but I don't live in New York City, so yeah, right. It's okay to comment, though. The landlord puts the rent on all the non-subsidized units. Cuomo's trash. Man, dummy's a tethered Trojan horse. Go ahead, Q. Sable. Sable, what's up? I don't know what that means, Sable. They're both snakes. I get it, guy. Yep, there it goes. Frankie, hard work, show. Damn. Anonymous says his supporters are gentrifiers who grew up on their friends' couches. Catherine, Wolfpack. Thank you, Catherine. And last but not least, damn. Arlene says, he sounds good. in the beginning, then they get co-opted like all the rest. There it is, Johnson. Actually, he's kind of showing his slip is showing in the beginning. That's how I feel. He ain't even really trying, Johnson. He like, look, I'm not gonna win talking to man. Scotty! All right, man. I'm done, man. I'm done. Hey, look, man. I want to thank y'all for being here tonight. I had a good time. I'm glad you look. Thank you for hanging with me through the technical difficulties. All right. I appreciate y'all. It wasn't easy, but we got through it, right? I think we had a great show tonight. Give it up for everybody who supports the show. Thank you. Shout out to the Tim Black Wolfpack, the members of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Thank you for supporting what we do. Thank you for sharing this with your friends. Tell a friend. If you can't become a member, tell everybody you know about this show. That's right. Embarrass yourself. Embarrass yourself for your friends. No, I'm serious, man. Liberate your friends. Let them know there's something new going on YouTube. It's the Tim Black Show. Tell them to tune in. Don't forget, take the Black Truth Challenge. All right? Got somebody that you think needs to be put on blast? You want to call somebody out? Hashtag Black Truth Challenge. All right, that's it. That's all. I'm Tim Black. I got nothing but love for you. Remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread, Johnson. All right. Damn, I feel good about this. You did a good job, Johnson. And as always, I got to end it with talking to my ladies. Where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? There they go. Wolfpack.